Alright, so by the time you're watching, Global is officially out for solo leveling, and I'll be talking about what characters you should be investing in terms of summoning, what characters you should be pulling for, getting dupes, or just pulling, in general. As soon as you start the game, what character are you rolling for, or at least going for, and mainly we're talking about the main banner, the sort of like a stable. This banner is going to be here forever, there's no expiry date, but there's also the special banner. The special banner, we don't know exactly what character will release with Global. This character is what's currently on in the early access version of the game, which I'm playing right now, and this is probably not going to be the character you're going to see once Global boots up and shows up. What it seems to be is that it's either going to be one of these two characters, either Alicia or Chahe, sorry, pronunciation, whichever is the case, character that ends up being actually the ones that release with Global. These tickets, these like premium tickets, I would just pull for that character because it looks like they are very, very powerful, but these are leaks, so maybe it could be incorrect, but whatever the case would be, the premium characters so far have been very good, so whatever character it is, I'll pull for. And I wouldn't be too disencouraged for going for dupes. Dupes in this game are very strong. Can I show here? Yeah, if I go view details. So, can I? Seems like I can't for here. In any case, dupes in this game are very, very, very powerful. And if you get dupes for any of the characters, are going to be much stronger. But I would say what you really should be focusing on in terms of, dupes is weapons. Unfortunately, for the premium ticket side of the things, you can't really, like, pick a weapon. There's always going to be, it seems to be, a main character and not a weapon. But weapons are very important. So, here's the thing. There's two types of weapons. Weapons made for Jinwoo and weapons made for the side characters. If you don't know how the game works yet, there's different characters aside from Jinwoo, but Jinwoo is your main character that you use for a lot of the game modes. And the weapons that you get for him actually change his play style. And each of these SSR weapons are all very good, actually, but there are some that are better than others. Mainly these two. So the Plum Flower Sword is a weapon I would say everyone should get because it's so much fun to use, but it is very, very powerful. As you can see, they actually show the popular picks that everyone does, and it is one of the, out of all the weapons, is the one that has the popular pick. This weapon, and I'll say the Scythe, are the two best weapons in the game. This weapon just came out. I don't know if they're going to be on global launch, this Moon Shadow. If it is, I'm sorry, it just came out, so I don't know exactly how powerful they are, but I have all the other weapons and I've tested them, and these two seem to be the best. Scythe is a free weapon, so you might want to get it because you're guaranteed to get dupes for it, which, by the way, dupes for weapons are very important. It'll give you stats, it'll give you, like, look at the dupe abilities. Each dupe gives you a new ability, it makes their weapons way stronger. Not only that, but the stats you get, look, 400 attack, 2500 attack. And precision. Precision is a major stat in this game. It is one of the stat in the end game that you always want to have locked in for Jinwoo. And having weapons with dupes very much helps. But yeah, in terms of the SSR weapons, these two are the ones that I recommend are the best. But I would keep in mind, having two dark weapons is not the best because elements are, very important in the end game. So having one of each weapon is worthwhile if you end up getting to that point. I would say two weapons are very important because of the game modes that end up being showing up in the end game are actually this book because it's water. The actual weapon is kind of mid, but it being water is good. Now, in terms of characters, so the characters that show up here in the popular are in fact the best characters, but let me actually remove this. So this top three here, so Seo, Emma, and Min are the three best units in the game, I would say, in terms of these side characters. And all the other SSRs from this list really aren't as good as them. There's a bit of a gap, but they are decent. If you do get the other SSRs, they're okay. Right now in the early access version, we do get a copy of Woo for free. I don't know how it's gonna be for global once that comes out, but we did get a copy of him. He's pretty mid. But these are the SSRs you want to go for, and they all do somewhat different stuff. The SSR I would like very much recommend everyone to start with is CEO Jinwoo. She is super powerful and major stats. She's a defense, right? Not HP. She's a defense scaler. So you can actually make her super tanky. Let me actually take a look because I made her gear, but I haven't used her in a while. Oh, she's an HP scaler, sorry. Yeah, I made her gear and I haven't touched it since then. But yeah, she's an HP scaler. I mean, in any case, you can make her super tanky and she's super powerful. The thing is that in this game, you don't want to focus on making characters tanky because everything in the game is based on time. So you want the characters to just hit fast and hard. You don't care about how tanky they are. If you are to tank hits, just dodge them, alright? Like, it is what it is for this game. But, you know, if you can give her HP and you can, you know, give her tankiness and damage, then that's great. I forgot, dude, I don't know the names of any of these characters, I'm sorry. I love solo leveling. I read the whole manhwa in like a couple of days. Names escape me. She's very good, Emma. She has a really good ability I really like. Can I see the skills here? This one right here is the support skill that you bring up once you pull her out when you're playing with Jinwoo. It has break. Break is very important. So does the other character, the water character we just showed. They also have break, which is very, very great. These three are the best support characters. Like, when you're playing with Jinwoo, you can pick your 3 support characters, right? And these three are the... I just unselect the weapon. These three are the best. They are what brings more to the table. And that's why they are the popular. And these are the characters you should be going for. Like, if you just pick these three plus the plum sword, like it's like literally how he's showing popular. It's popular for a reason. People are picking these characters because they are what you go for. Now, what about the other SSRs? If you get the other SSRs, they're not bad. Because especially, you know, this girl, Lee, like I said, name's terrible. It's great to have the elements. So having one of the SSR dark characters, having one of the SSR green characters could be great. I would say for green and for dark, you don't need SSR as much because there is actually a good SR that can make that role. But if you get the character, you get the character. Especially, I mean, green, I don't know how it's going to be for global, I'm sorry, but, you know, we don't know. You get this character for free right now. You know, you don't need to go for a green SSR. In any case, this list doesn't show the SR, so I have to go through here. The SRs. Are there good SRs in the game? Yes, but I would say working on the SSRs is more important. These are some of the okay SRs. I would say, you know, if you get them up, it's not too bad. Kang is good. He has an SSR weapon? I didn't even know. Weapons for... Sorry, I was going to talk about the weapons for the characters. So, each character has its own weapon. But you might notice that you can't actually pull it from the banner. You actually have to craft the weapon, so I wouldn't worry about that. You know, day one, you're going to be focusing on getting the characters more. By the time you get to craft the weapons for the characters, you're going to be like in the mid game already. Right now, it's not the time for that. Being honest, I have, I think, one weapon for an SSR character that wasn't either given to me or is for the premium banners. Because the premium banners SSR, also you can't get their weapon from here either, but you can craft them much more easily because you craft them pay to win by summoning. But yeah, there are weapons for the characters as well, and there are SR weapons in here too. But let me talk about the SR characters first. So for purple, one SR character is good is the Kang, he's pretty decent. For blue, an SR character is really good is Nem. She does freeze, and she's pretty good. I believe you get a copy of her for free as well. I would say, as a general rule of thumb, giving the dupes for the SRs, you're going to be doing all the time. There's no reason why we wouldn't. And some of the characters that are actually worthwhile to build are these. Park is pretty decent as well. They actually just put the decent SRs all at the top, because like all these are garbage. Like you start... You start going down and these are just trash. Yeah, and Kim is actually pretty decent too. He's a defender character. He's actually pretty nice. He gives you a shield. But yeah, every other SR in the game, for what I can tell, is pretty bad. I thought that Lee was decent as well because she's a healer. But like I said, it's not about survivability. You don't care about how tanky your characters are. You care about how fast you beat the game. Everything is timed, and you want to have the best time possible. Okay, so there are SR weapons for Jinwoo, and there are SR weapons for the Hunters. So for Jinwoo, there are only 2 SR weapons I recommend. So personally, for what I can see, the Orb of Avarice is actually pretty decent. And like I said, SR weapons, I would recommend selling for currency. Because you get a currency for the shop. But I would say keeping, especially if you don't have SSR weapons, keeping ones for the attribute you don't have an SSR weapon for might be worthwhile. So if you don't get a fire weapon for Jinwoo, I would keep this orb and dupe it because it also gives you precision, and then max dupes is actually a pretty decent weapon. You can go up to 10 dupes, by the way, in everything. Cringe. It's insane how many dupes you can give to something, and just it goes up and up and up in stats. But yeah, you can. So if you don't have an SR fire weapon, I would recommend that. A good SR weapon as well is the Sniper. West Wind is the name. And like I said, if you don't get an SSR green weapon, I would work on the Sniper and use that instead. All the rest of the SRs, I believe, are garbage. But let's say you get one and you play with it and you like the gameplay and you don't have an SSR for that element, I would keep it so that if there's an activity where you need that element, then I'll bring it. But even if, let's say, okay, I don't have a light weapon. I don't have a light weapon. I would rather bring an SSR Dark, even if it does less damage. It's just better. So, you know, having the SSR weapons and having the dupes for the SSR weapons is much more worthwhile. So, pulling on this banner, you want to be getting the dupes for the weapons that you need. You know, you want to get different elements. One, I would say, contrapoint to the Plum Sword is that you do get the Scythe for free, but it is kind of like a little later in the game, and having one of the good SSR weapons to begin with will help you out a ton. And I'll be honest, I don't like the Scythe. I don't like the Scythe as much as the Sword. The Sword is much more fun to play with. So, you know, if you get, let's say you roll, and you get, I don't know, the book, and you get Emma, I would still keep. These are things that are going to help you out. If you just have multiple SSRs, it will help you out a ton, and having dupes for the SSRs will help a lot. That's the biggest thing. I don't know how much other people are gonna be willing to say this, but this game is extremely pay to win, because dupes are mega important. If you only care about beating the story, which I don't know why you would, but cool. But let me tell you, in the end game of this game, everything's timed, and it's everything leaderboards. So having the best time on your, I think this is by server, will give you the better rewards. So if you want to have the best time, it's not about having all the SSRs, it's about having the best SSRs. If you have multiple dupes on the best characters and on the best weapons, it will serve you much better than, like, you know, okay, I got the Plum Sword, let me go and try to get the revolver now. That's not very smart, I don't think. Even if, okay, the next activity is light, you're probably not going to get very good time with a non-duped revolver, you know, and a non-duped sword. You might as well get more dupes for the sword. So, in any case, if you're gonna take the game, you know, casually, I'm taking the game casually, personally, because, you know, this is not my main game. I'm just having fun playing the game. You just get the weapons that you like. You get the things that, you know, give you the better time playing the game, because personally I like the gameplay of these two swords. The Demon King Longsword is a counter weapon. It's quite fun to time. and the Plum Sword just has really cool movement. So I'm just duping them. You know, I'm going in. I'm on the long haul. I'm on the long haul. I'm playing the long game. I'm max duping these two weapons, and then I'm just gonna be very strong once I do. So that's about it. In any case, don't be discouraged to you know. I started the game and I'm hard stuck on a story stage. You know, wait to get more XP. Maybe come back on the banner once you have more tickets. Try to get more stuff. But I'll tell you this: the rates are garbage, terrible. The rates are absolutely terrible. So unless you re-roll, the only SSRs you're gonna pull are very much likely going to be the ones at the pity. Once it starts getting up to the 80 pity right here is when you're gonna actually pull an SSR. So make sure to focus on the good stuff. You're not gonna have an excess of SSRs. This is not that kind of game. This is more like Genshin, where you pull an SSR every like 3 years. So yeah, good luck.